Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm filming a book haul. Woohoo! It's been like one moment since I filmed and then every time I'm like, what am I doing? I asked around, like not publicly but like people I know if they prefer like short or long book hauls in general, because lately, the last few months, the last 2 years, I don't even know, I filmed like really long book hauls, like 50 plus 60 plus book hauls. They're always really long. I would probably never go too deep into synopsises and stuff anyway if it's shorter, but I think like maybe posting more often book hauls that are shorter than like one long one every 3 or 4 months is better. That's what everyone said, so I'm rolling with that. And then we'll see how I feel about it myself. I'm thinking I would do like every 20-30 books, something, depending how many. So it will be like every month or every second month. Not that I don't buy 30 books in 1 month, that was extensive. Yeah, something like that. It depends a bit because I pre-order a lot of exclusive edition, for example, and then I don't get any for months, and then suddenly everything comes at once. So it depends a bit. Like I don't buy them all in 1 month, but they might arrive all at the same time. I don't even know. But yeah, so I have like 26 books here today, and I think I would try. That number seems nice, and I'm very excited to share with you the books I've gotten since like the beginning of the year, which is my last book haul. So much is very exciting, and I'm very happy. And we will go in the order that I got them as per usual, and don't expect synopsises because it would just take ages. Okay, I just realized I have my pile in the wrong order. Well dang. Actually, surprisingly, and which is also a good thing, I've read like most of these, not all, but most of them, or I'm planning to read them really soon, and I have been good at that like last year and well, this year has been 2 months, but yeah, buying things I know or read soon, just like a few where I haven't, and then thereby my TBR doesn't get as long. And it's just a great feeling knowing that you read it at once when you got it instead of it lying on your shelf for a billion years. Not all, but like my TBR did not grow a lot last year, and hopefully I will continue that trend this year, but who knows, really. We are starting off with 3 books that was a really big surprise. If you follow me, for example, on Twitter and Instagram, like I'm there all the time, but it seems like I'm not. I got 3 surprises in the mail. The first one we have here is The Three-Body Problem by Xin Liu. Probably should have checked that before, but yeah. This one is the first book in the, what is the series called again? The Earth's Remembrance series, I think. But the reason that this is such a big surprise is because it was actually sent to me from Naomi. I have the note in here so that I will never forget. They bought it to me from my wishlist on Amazon. That has never happened before, like, ever. This is like the first I ever got from a subscriber, or like someone actually buying to me on my wishlist in general, and I was so surprised and I was like, what? I did not expect it at all. I'm just very grateful. So Naomi, if you're watching this, then thank you so much again. She sent me another one too. We'll talk about that soon. I already read this. I have filled my wishlist with like a mix of things I have read and not read, but I don't own it, and I do really want a physical copy of everything I own, especially if I enjoyed it. So of course I wanted a physical copy of this, and I'm just very excited I have this. Now I can buy the rest of the series and knowing that I have the first one, and it's great. And also if I want to reread it, you know, I'm ready. I read it on my Kindle when I was in Japan, so I could reread it anyway on my Kindle, but I didn't have a physical copy. But yeah, I'm a collector of books, so I'm very happy to have this. And you know, just very grateful. I don't really know how this happened, but yeah, I'm happy. Okay, where did I put the books I already hold? Oh dang, there's too many piles of books. Also, to talk about actually the book, it's like a first contact story with aliens, and that's all I bothered to say. And going in order I received things, so the next one would be My Hero Academia volume 26 by Koi Horikoshi. This is currently the newest volume out of My Hero Academia. I haven't read this one yet, but it's like the next manga I will read, so I will read it definitely in March. My Hero Academia is set in a world where 80% of the population has quirks or superpowers, and they turn into supervillain superhero society. And we have our main character Midoriya, who wants to be a hero, but he doesn't have a quirk. And the story develops from there. They also go to hero school, and it's great. And it's also fighting, and great characters. Yay! Also, I'm sorry, because I know my parents are making a lot of noise upstairs, but just ignore all the footsteps. I'm sorry. That Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown. This one I bought for my Got a Thing for Season challenge, and it follows Echo Brown, who is a teenage wizard, so it's like on the boundary of like contemporary but towards like magical realism. A heartbreaking story about Echo Brown being a poor black girl, and so many struggles with her parents being abusers and drug addicts and living in poverty, sexual assault, and just so many awful themes, but also full of hope. and opportunities, but how hard it can be to, you know, grasp them. But yeah, it was really, really great. And I listened to the audiobook and the author reads it and it was great. So I really recommend that. And the book was great too, of course. Yeah. Also for God Fifth Season, I bought The Weight of the Stars by Kay Ancrum. This one is a sci-fi book and it follows Ryan Bird, who parents has died and she lives with a brother and his baby. And then a new girl starts at school whose name is Alexandria. And Alexandria's mother is in space because there was this whole project where people were sent into space to go as far as possible to get information about space, but there's no return journey. So yeah, they're all like really fascinated about space and stuff. It's an FF romance. It was so good, like 5 out of 5 stars. I get goosebumps thinking about it. And I cried because it was so beautiful. It's beautiful writing, beautiful friendship. And yeah, I'm talking a lot about these books now, but that just happened. I usually talk much shorter. I don't know, help. The next one is The Storm Crow by Kaylin Josephson. This was also sent to me by, oh my god, a note, Naomi again. I had to double check, like I knew, but like it would be awkward if I didn't. And this one is the first book in the series. I think it's a duology, I don't even know. And it kind of like follows people who run on crows. And I have read this again. I had an arc of this, I read it, I didn't particularly like it, but I'm a kind of person who just wants all the books I read. And I want to read a sequel, and it would be weird if I didn't have like the first book. Yeah, it's also super pretty, like it's a gorgeous book. And hopefully I will like the sequel more than the first book. And yeah, thank you again, Naomi. Too kind, truly. The next book was also gifted to me, and that is Beyond the Darkened Shore by Jessica Leek. I don't know if it's Leakey or Leek, either way. This one was sent to me by Jessie from Jessie Boathouse Books, and I'm so happy and grateful, and I didn't know this was gonna happen, and it did, and I screamed. I also already read it, but I don't have a physical copy, and I of course wanted one. I read it on my Kindle in Japan, and it was an interesting book. It's like kind of inspired by like the war between like, I was gonna say Britain, which is not named Britain at that time, and like, I was gonna say Norway, like the Vikings kind of. It's like a war between those two, and then there's like also thrown in like mythology. Is it called Irish mythology? Is that what it's called? I don't think it's called that. Celtic mythology. Oh my god, my brain. And it was interesting, and again the book is beautiful. I'm really happy that I have now a physical copy, and yay, just very grateful. Okay, that was all the books that was gifted to me, like from people that I didn't know had gifted things to me, like for my wish list. Like again, it's never happened before, and then suddenly 3 came like in the same month, and I was just shook it, and I'm so happy. Like yeah, I don't even have words, because I never actually thought that it would actually happen, but I got sent books from people who like to watch my videos or like are my friends. I don't have words. Okay, so yeah, let's continue before I was gonna say start crying. It's not that bad. Okay. I then got A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabbath here. This one is the Waterstones edition, so it has like the pink, is it pink? I guess it is, sprayed edges. And I saw they had this still on sale, and I got it, and I am questioning now why. It's kind of funny, like, because I have, it's also signed. The 3 first books in the series, of course, like it's my favorite series, but neither in the UK hardcover, so this doesn't match anything. I just wanted it, but like you will see why really, really soon, and like you probably know why if you have kept up a bit, maybe, that I have this. But yeah, and now I kind of need like another set of the whole series to match this with the other sprayed edges. I just didn't get those at the time. They are really hard to get, so I don't know what was happening in my brain when I got this, but now I have it, and it's my favorite series. So more than one edition on the same book, for sure, let's roll with it. And yeah, Amber and Ashes, this is the 4th book, follows loads of things. It's basically like taking down an empire thing. Woohoo! It's one of my favorite series, but I'm too lazy to do synopsises in book hauls, I'm sorry. Then finally got Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive series. I don't know what happened. I had pre-ordered this copy, but then my pre-order got cancelled. They were very rude. I had to order it again, and here we are. So yay, I'm collecting the UK editions, if you can't tell. Obviously I don't have the 1 and 2 in the UK hardcovers, because they have gone, even though there's kind of a reprint now, but I don't understand if it's like actually them or not. I'm very confused. If someone knows, please tell me. I just read the 1st book in January, and I'm planning to read like the rest that is out, which is until this one this year, so I needed one, and it's big and heavy. It's like 1000 pages long, but I really like the UK covers a lot. Even though UK hardbacks like sucks to read in, but here I am still buying them. I then have very more even excitedly Starry Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is the deluxe edition of this book, and I made a whole video where I just screamed about it for like 10 minutes because yeah, it's so expensive. This was my Christmas gift from Erica, and it came really late because it took ages to arrive. But here I am. It has like 100 copies, and I don't bother taking it out because it's like super hard to get it in again. Oh yeah, okay, I do bother taking it out apparently. Take it out a bit, but it's like this, and it has like blue spread edges, and it's the like the most expensive, most beautiful book I own now, and it's one of my favorite books of all time. It's like about doors, and it's just magical and beautiful, and I want to reread it really badly, and now I have this, and I'm screaming. Like, it's like, as I said, one of the rarest, most expensive books I own. I think it's still on sale because it's so expensive, so people haven't like bought them up at once. But yeah, it's intense, and I'm so grateful. It's insane that I have this actually. When it was announced, I was like, oh my god, I want it, and then I saw the price and I was like, that's never gonna happen. And Erica bought it for me anyway because she's crazy, so. And then we have The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. This one I also bought for my God, I think for season challenge. And it's also like an alien story where aliens has kind of taken over, and then they have to fight them to like be free of them kinda. And it's like a love story between these two people. I have read it. I don't think it holds up what I wanted it to be, but I still think it's a good book and had good elements in it. But there were still some parts that I struggle with. But yeah, and it's pretty. Yay! I'm pissed at myself for like, oh, I will take less books in a book haul to make it shorter, but then I'm super slow, so. Where is the book? The Gathering Storm by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. This one is book 12 in the Wheel of Time, and I have 2 books left after this, so very soon finished. Currently reading this actually on audiobook. Hopefully I will finish Wheel of Time in the next 1 or 2 months or something. Yay. Also, what's Wheel of Time about? It's a lot. Basically, these 2 boys go out on an adventure, and one of them is the Reborn Dragon, and they're gonna beat the Darkbone. That's so bad, but yeah, I will talk more about Wheel of Time later. Not in this video, but in other videos. Promised Neverland, volume 12 by Kari Shirai, continuing the Promised Neverland series, where there's children in an orphanage are living a happy life until one day they find out the secret about the orphanage. My favorite manga at the time. Just continuing the series, and I'm soon done, but I'm not ready. I then went to the bookstore and got a bunch of books, so that was a happy time. I filmed that too, so you can check that out on my channel. And we have The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. This is the first book in the Dreamblood trilogy, and it was on my list for other fantasy books I want to read this year, so I'm glad I got it. I read it too. It was weird, very interesting, but weird and confusing, but very N.K. Jemisin style in originality, and just a really good book. I would never be able to explain it to you. It's like these gatherers that are the keepers of peace, it says here, and the priest of the dream goddess, and they go out and like harvest people's magic of the sleeping mind, and like you to heal, but also like they kill the corrupt, so who is corrupt, and yeah. And it's this one priest questioning his whole faith, kind of. Yay! Who First That by Neri Okorafor. This one I bought for Blackathon, so I already read it in February. And how to explain this book too? It is like about Anya, who is an outcast. She also has magic, but they don't want to teach her because she's a woman. It just has many different themes. She's also like an outcast because her mom was raped when she had her, and like then people go and rape it, people hate them, so then she's like half that and people hate her because of that. It will be an HBO show. Very interested to see how it will all look like and represented, because I think visually that would look really cool. But yeah, the overall book, like, it was great, super interesting, and just like a heartbreaking but good story. But to explain it to you, I don't know how, but yeah, it was good, so really recommend. Then have Rosewater by Tate Thompson. This one I also bought for Blackathon, so I already read this too. This one is also an alien story, and it's set in Nigeria in 2066. This like whole like called an alien biodome is like in the city Rosewater. The main character can read people's minds, so he also works for like the government and stuff to like investigate people. And it's also set in like other timelines where we see him like finding out about his powers and doing this one case. So yeah, it's like mind things and alien things. It was very interesting, a bit confusing, but interesting, and it's also the first one in trilogy, so I'm excited to see where the story will go. Yay! And then we have Date Me Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy. And this one I have not actually read yet. Bryson has said that each week he has a date with the first person to ask him out. But because Brilliant Bryson Keller forgot one thing, he never said it could only be girls. So this is like a MM romance, it seems like. And it just seems adorable. And I've been wanting to read it since like it came out, but I didn't get it until now. I didn't read this one because I didn't get time for it, but I will probably read it this year, soon. Hopefully. Oops. So I'm excited to read this. And then got The Toll by Neil Schussman. This is the final book in the Arc of a Scythe series. Scythe. I always forget how to say that word, and I always say the wrong one, and I don't know why. This one is set in a world where people can't die, so they have made sites that go around killing people, so like the population don't go overboard, and then a lot of things comes after this. This one I got from Erica because I had this Christmas calendar thing where I got one book every day up to Christmas in December, and then the last book never arrived, which was The Toll, and then it just never arrived, and we had to tell Book Depository being like, it never arrived, and then we got the money back, and then I bought it again because like in theory I had already gotten it or bought it. So then it arrived now. So yeah, I was supposed to have this on Christmas Eve, but I got it later, but that's fine. And yeah, I haven't read it yet, but hopefully I'll read it this year. I put it on a list on book series I want to finish this year. So I only have this one left. I read 1 and 2. So I will get this. I know people were very disappointed by this, so I'm a bit scared. Still have to finish it. It's long, but it's fine. I read the second book in like 1 sitting, so I think I will be okay. I then got Yesterday is History by Christopher Jackson. This one I also got for Blackathon. I have read it. It is like about time travel. The main character Andre gets time traveling abilities when he gets like a organ from a time traveler family, and then he falls in love with someone in the past and also someone currently in the future. It sounds super fun and interesting, but I just did not like this. It really annoys me, but I still think it has a lot of great elements, and if you maybe, I would say, don't think so much about different aspects of the story, you could enjoy it a lot. I just had problems with the writing, wanted more development, and I didn't like where the story went. But like, I liked parts of it. I sound so strict, I don't know why. I liked parts of it, and I of course appreciate that the main character is a black gay boy, and that Arthur wanted to write a story where a black boy was like the center of a love triangle, could be seen as a love interest, and I see that so well, and I enjoy that, of course. And I enjoyed like the family aspects. I don't know. I was just very hyped for it, and it did let me down a bit. I will not deny that at all, but still a solid book, and I don't regret reading it. So yeah, and I'm excited to read the next books of this author. Then have Given Volume 5 by Natsuki Kisu, and this one follows this band, and they're all gay basically, and it's great, and I'm very excited to read this. I'll probably get to it this month as well. I'm just excited to continue this series and cry. It's all fine. A Darker Holland Star by Ashley Shuttleworth, and this one is the book club pick of the month for March in my book club Faes and Gaze, which I'm co-hosting, where we read queer, sci-fi and fantasy every single month. And this one is like, it's Faes, it's gay, like all the 4 main characters are queer, and it was just like the perfect pick for us. Like, we had to pick it. We are called Faes and Gaze, we had to pick a Fae gay book. I haven't read this yet, but obviously it's on my TBR for March. I will probably read it like very soon. And it's like 500 pages long, so I did not expect the thickness of this, but I'm just very excited to read this and have a live show in the beginning of April. You should join our book club and of course read this book too, and I'm excited. Yay! We're very soon at the end, but this is like the most exciting thing of this haul, and that is, of course, they're in the wrong order right now, I'm really sorry. The Ember and the Ashes set from Fairy Loot. Ah! If that had actually fallen, I would have died. Scream really loudly. I hope my parents didn't hear me. I will try to fix the order. Wait. Please don't fall. They're really big. Here we are. So this is the Fairy Loot Amber and Ash set. My hair is in a way. You get all 4 of the new UK covers in hardcover, because the first 2, A Torch Against the Night and Amber Ashes, you could only get in UK paperback. I guess they changed cover mid-series. But here you could get all 4 matching, and also they have beautiful, I was gonna say not deckled edges, stenciled suede edges, is that what it's called? They're just stunning. I have no regrets. This was announced, I had to have it with everything in me. They're just stunning. As I said, now I have 2 of the 4th one. They have not the same suede edges, of course, but they're still the same book. It's just funny, I have like 2 of the last one that kind of match these. But that's fine, I can live with that. They also like shine a bit on the cover. They changed something like on the cover I don't remember what. It was going to be like more shiny or more details. I don't even remember. Yeah, they are stunning in its own. My hairs anyway. They also like, they have like a signed thing inside. A pattern thing. Like hair. Help. It was really hard to hold all of them at the same time. They were really big books. But yeah, I haven't read the fourth one yet. But I am of course going to read it. Hopefully this year. Because I did reread 1 and 2 and then read 3 to read the 4th. And I haven't read it yet. So I should get to that. I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I recommend it a lot. I am excited to see whatever Sabato here decides to write next. Because I will read anything. Woohoo, have I showed this off enough now? I don't even know. I'm so happy I got them. They were very expensive, but it was totally worth it because I love this series so much and I needed these editions. I talked while not being in the frame, but that's okay because I'm a bad YouTuber anyway. I'm sorry, I'm bashing myself in all my videos. I only have 2 books left, so we are soon done. Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. This one I got from Erica again, and she ordered it in December and it never arrived and we had to order it again. This has like been out of print on Book Depository for like ages. I think of course because of COVID and stuff. I'm feeling bad for the author because she has to be losing a lot of sales from this because it's been out of print for so long or like not available. But finally it was available again and finally I have it. I have the UK hardback because the US one just never came in stock again. 2 sisters, 1 murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself. Sounds dark and stuff. So yeah, Erica just really wanted me to read this because she heard about it on TikTok, lol, brought it to me and I was like, okay, I will read it. So I will probably read this like now really soon. I know about her other series, Stalking Jack the Ripper, and I heard about it for a long time. I just have no interest right now to read it, but like since it became so popular I like been thinking about reading it, but I haven't. But now I'm starting on another series instead, so let's see how I feel about it and see if I enjoy it. I know a lot of people have loved this, so I'm excited to see what I will feel soon, very soon. And the last book here is Promised Neverland volume 13. So this just continues Promised Neverland from earlier, of course. It's like I think 20 or 21 volumes, I think 20. The last one comes out in August this year, like in English. It's already out in Japanese, obviously. So hopefully I will have caught up by then, since I'm on 30 now. And then I can read the last one and cry forever. That would be great. I don't have the urge to cry right now. What are you talking about? Just very, very excited. I love this so much. That's all the books for today. This turned out much longer than I thought it would be, considering that I had less books because I decided to talk more. That countered what I wanted to do. But whatever. Leave a skull emoji down below if you enjoyed this video. You see me soon in a new one. I hope you enjoyed my book haul with all these amazing books. Thank you to everyone who sent me books. I just still can't believe it happened. It feels like a dream. I don't even know. You see me soon in a new one. Bye!